7 teams answered the call and decided to go to war. To prove they have what it takes, the world's best drone builders and pilots have been gathered from around the world to compete in a series of challenges that will test their engineering, piloting, problem solving, and teamwork. Season of Drone Wars, we see the thrill of speed, complexity of engineering.
We mount the basket on a rail system.
The sweetness of victory.
Yeah, baby! Yeah, right! Good job, Jason!
And the agony of defeat.
You, Adriatic Sea.
Join us as the battle heats up and we narrow down competitors until only one team remains. This season on Drone Wars.
Is a series of challenges to put pilots and engineers to the test.
We gotta win a bit. We're coming in first on this one.
Teams of 2 must design and create the ultimate flying machine to be able to conquer ever-changing obstacles and win points to avoid being knocked out of the competition. Ready?
Ready.
Come on, buddy. You got it? Welcome to Drone Wars. I'm your host, Joshua Sharfie.
And I'm Vanessa Jova.
Drone Wars is a series of challenges to put pilots and engineers to the test. Teams of 2 must design and create the ultimate flying machine to be able to conquer ever-changing obstacles and win points to avoid being knocked out of the competition. Let's meet the teams. We have John and Jason from Team Chaos, specializing in design and engineering.
From Team Dialexa, we have Nathan and Romeo, specializing in research, design, and product development.
From Team Beard, we have Jared and Eve, specializing in computer science and software development.
From Team Ikaliktan, we have Luciano and Jose, specializing in aerial photography and film.
Next up, we have Sean and Marco from Team Copterworks, specializing in drone racing and aerial photography.
Next up is Sam and Jacob for Team California Dronin, specializing in aerial photography and film.
And finally, we have Team Pyrodrone with Ricky and Bobby, specializing in drone racing. One thing you all share, you're some of the best in your field. While your backgrounds will give you an edge in some of the challenge, it won't in all.
2 heads are better than 1, and what will give you an advantage is your ability to work as a team to design a system that will outperform the competition. At the end of every challenge, teams will be awarded points based on their performance. But make sure you don't come in last too many times. Every 4 challenges, an elimination will happen. The team with the least amount of points will be eliminated from the competition. And the teams with the most amount of points at the end of Drone Wars, bragging rights and 10,000 bucks.
Now, who's ready for the first challenge?
Your first challenge is going to be right behind me. In 2 days' time, a maze will be built. From your team, 1 person will hover the drone above the maze, and the other will have a real-time view of what the drone will be.
Person 2 will, in essence, have a real-time view of themselves and will have to get through the maze in the quickest time possible.
First place will receive 10 points. Second place will get 8 points. Third place will get 6 points. If you complete the maze, you'll be awarded 2 points, and if you do not, you will get 0.
So your challenge is to build a custom drone from scratch. You then have to have a working camera system to provide a real-time view to your teammate in the maze.
You have 2 days to complete the challenge, so let's head to the workshop. Welcome, teams. Your challenge starts here. This is the workshop where you'll be designing, building, and testing out your custom-made drones. Here you have access to 3D printers, CNC machines, drills, tools, parts, and money.
Get your gear, decide what you want to build, and head to the workshop. The time starts now.
Let the drone wars begin.
set this over by the power?
Yeah, for sure.
My name is Jacob Stiegel, and I'm on California Droning. I'm a freelance photographer. I also do aerial cinematography/photography.
Sam and Jacob have backgrounds in aerial filming, so building a drone with a camera system is something they are familiar with.
Most challenging is the unknowing situation. Honestly, like every time we wake up, we don't really know what the day is going to bring towards us.
But a new challenge for them will be running through a maze while looking at themselves from a bird's eye view. Disorienting, to say the least.
So something like a medium-sized quad or hex will probably give us that lifting capacity plus a little bit of power.
Like all teams, they will have to decide what style of drone they want to build. Some of the most popular drone configurations are quadcopters, which have 4 propellers, hexacopters, which have 6 propellers, and octocopters, which have 8 propellers. Quadcopters are typically more agile, consume less power, and are cheaper to build. By adding 2 more propellers, hexacopters add stability in flight and can carry more weight. And with 8 propellers, octocopters are the most stable, can carry the most weight, but are also the most expensive. California Dronin decides to buy a hexacopter kit, but only use 4 propellers, which will cost less money for this challenge, and leave them with options for future challenges.
We have a medium-sized frame, so that way we have a lot of area for adapting. My name is Sam Mobley. I'm 19 years old, and my team is California Dronin. So I first knew that I wanted to do drones about a week after I got my first drone. I'd flown it like 20 times every day, and I was hooked. I just kept doing it and never wanted to stop.
So what are we going to do for the first challenge?
I say we try to keep it as cheap and simple as possible so that we have more money to spend in the future. My name is Bob Ferrugi. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I'm on Team Pyro Drone. I wouldn't really say that I wanted to be a drone racer from the beginning because it didn't even exist 5 years ago, so I kind of just fell into it because of my background.
Bob and Ricky both have a background in drone racing. Their expertise is in piloting and building smaller quad racing drones.
So how big do you think we should make it?
Well, I think that chair looks perfect.
I agree, that chair looks like it could fly pretty well. Let's grab it.
My name is Ricky Martinez. I'm 25 years old, and I'm on Team Pyro Drone. I'm not sure if any of my other skills are going to come into play to help me win the competition. I think the main thing is my skill as a pilot. I can fly through pretty much anything, and I can fly pretty much anything. So I think just my overall skill as a pilot is what's going to help me win the competition.
This wood looks excellent. Now we just need a hacksaw.
In order to save money for future challenges, they decide to build their drone from scratch.
So we figured save as much money as we can, keep it simple, and see what we can do with something we could find right at home or at the store, close by, anywhere, without having to buy expensive carbon fiber.
Mi nombre es Luciano Vigueras, mi equipo es Icalictan y fue entonces cuando por primera vez conseguí un dron, por primera vez le subí una cámara y era muy pequeño, era costoso, no era estable.
Jose and Luciano also come from the aerial filming world, which will serve them well in this challenge.
Usar para este reto un quad porque no vamos a sacrificar tanto en batería. Necesitamos tener más tiempo de vuelo.
Para volar mejor, para que tú puedas entrar.
Y tener más oportunidad de...
Mi nombre es José Riojas, soy de Cuatro Ciénegas, Coahuila, en México. Yo actualmente me dedico exclusivamente a los drones. Podría decir que el 100% de mi trabajo ya está enfocado en los drones, tanto en la reparación como en el desarrollo.
Entonces tenemos que hacer un hexa.
No, ese no.
Choosing a hexacopter will give them more stability while in flight, which will make it easier for them to see the maze. But the quadcopter promises a longer flight time and saves them money, which they can use later on.
My name is Nathan Gingrich. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm 35 years old, and I'm on Team Dialexa Robots. My friends call me El Fuego, the flame, kind of with the air in, because I'm always moving and going. My day job, I work for a company called Dialexa. We're a technology company. We do end-to-end solutions, so anything from a piece of hardware that we have to program that we can build from scratch to design web pages, applications for phones to computers.
Romeo and Nathan specialize in research and design, while Romeo Romeo focuses more on the designing and building, Nathan can focus on piloting, giving them balance on their team.
The copter is going to be able to lift a lot, so if we have it in the budget, we'll pick up the Zemis. Otherwise, the gimbal is like the last of my priorities. My name is Romeo Espana. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm on Team Dialexa Robots. One thing I love about multicopters is just how straightforward they are. It's a certain number of motors and props, and all they're doing is keeping themselves in balance, and everything else spawns from that. We do something like big props on a 6S battery. That's basically which means we keep it light, which means we don't put a complicated gimbal like a Zenus on there. Just a servo or something to keep it stable.
They come to the same conclusion as Team Ikaliktan and California Dronin. While a hexacopter would be nice for stability purposes, it will be too expensive for this challenge. So they buy a hexacopter platform and build it in a quadcopter configuration.
Are we going to do fixed position camera looking straight down or a tiltable?
My name is Jason Cole. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm on Team Chaos. Flying and building is a big passion for me, and it always has been. Anything that goes in the air, I'm in just love with it.
I'm going to try to move pretty quick.
Yeah, and I'll try to keep it as stable as possible, so, vibrations down, not getting disoriented, maybe yaw. My name's John Fernandez. I'm 45 years old. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am half of Team Chaos. I think I'm known for very meticulous builds and thinking outside the box and coming up with very unique ways to build things and solve problems.
Do we go HD or SD on the transmission?
I don't know, we're gonna have to see what the parts add up to, because HD is a big chunk. If we can get it in the initial build, that'd be great.
That's like half the build if we go HD Pro Site.
As engineers and hobbyists specializing in design, John and Jason realize the difficulty of this challenge isn't building the drone, but a camera system that will be able to convey a view that is helpful. So Team Chaos looks at a camera gimbal to stabilize the movement created by the drone.
What about flight control? That's our main thing. That's going to make or break us.
It's the heart of the drone, so, there's options.
I know it's more expensive, but I say we go with the Vector.
The flight controller is a computer on board the drone. Some flight controllers are more expensive, but have more sophisticated features like auto leveling and GPS tracking.
We may have to rig like a servo or something, so you take the FPV cam, and once I get into position, you flip the servo and then drop down. Yeah, so we just have a straight up bird's eye view.
Top down.
Yeah, so we can see the maze and you can kind of Pac-Man it through it.
Yeah.
I'm Sean Krell. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm 33 years old and I'm on Team Copterworks. I started with drones probably 3 years ago, built a TBS Discovery from a kit, soldered it all together, and I was hooked. That was it. Since then, I started a racing group called LAFPV. We're like a free-to-enter community thing in Los Angeles. FPV racing, we set up a track, anybody can come, it's completely free. So we have plenty of room for batteries. We're under $400, that's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's so much left over for a big build, that's easy.
Yeah. My name is Marco, I'm 30 years old, and I'm on Team Copterworks. I started flying drones roughly 3 years ago. I flew drones mainly for videography, so that's my main thing, drones. I don't really build drones.
Sean and Marco come from different backgrounds. Sean is a drone racer. He's used to building and piloting small racing quadcopters. But since this is a challenge where they need flight as well as video, Marco's experience in aerial filming will help out.
If we build, the good thing is we build a small one now, something FPV racer style, then that'll equip us for any kind of challenge like that. But, we won't have any real GPS hold or any stabilization that's gonna make this one easy.
Sean and Marco decide to save money by using a simplified flight controller without the additional features. That also means that piloting their drone will have an added degree of difficulty.
We probably aren't going to need anything too complicated for this task. We definitely need wireless image transmission, so I think it would be quite good to...
Yeah, it can't be tethered. My name's Eve Conan, I'm 35 years old, and I'm on Team Beards. We call ourselves Team Beards because I made the mistake of letting Jared pick the team name.
We thought, well, we'll call ourselves Bayard because it's spelled beard. And evidently, when we emailed Bayard without phonetics, it got turned into beard, and then someone thought, ooh, actually it should be Beards. So we ended up being Team Beards. Physical attributes not related. All things considered, this looks like it could be a very easy task. I do think we're going to need to look at a flight controller with GPS control. because I don't want to have to constantly be occupied with keeping the thing over the maze.
Unlike Team Copterworks, Team Beards has decided to use a more expensive flight controller with features like GPS hold, which will allow the computer to keep the drone stationary without additional pilot input.
I think what we'll probably do is look down the hexacopter route as well, because if we go for a hexacopter, we get a little bit of redundancy when it comes to the motors.
Additionally, they choose to go with a hexacopter that will cost more for parts, but will also give them added stability in this challenge. Coming up, will 4, 6, or 8 propellers give the most advantage for this challenge? And later, will the teams be able to conquer the maze? Seven teams of drone builders and pilots take on their first challenge of trying to navigate through a maze with a bird's eye view. Will these teams be able to complete their builds before the challenge and have a flying drone?
So what's weird about this challenge is that they have to see themselves from a third-person view. When you and I look at each other, that's first person. I'm looking from my eyes to you. But imagine you're looking at yourself from a bird's eye view. You don't see in front of you, you see from the top down, like a video game.
Right.
So these guys are gonna be wearing goggles, running through a maze, just like they're in a video game. But they have to rely on their teammate to make sure they get all the way across.
So what's going to be the most challenging part of building the drone? I see that's going to be challenging, but what about the actual build?
What's tough about this one is they have to build a drone in a short amount of time. Not only that, they have to have a live video system be transmitted to be able to help the runner navigate through this maze. The time is ticking, and we are really curious about what they're going to do.
Towards the back, we'll run the XT60 connector so the battery sits, the LiPo sits on the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, and then motor wires connect to here, that, and then this goes to the flight controller. This is your ground and your signal wire for the ESC.
Thanks to the simplicity of the Quad Racer design, as well as Sean's familiarity with the build, their drone comes together in only a few hours' time.
This guy right here.
See?
Okay, go ahead. Hell yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. We're absolutely gonna win. I mean, have you seen Marco? He could whoop any dude here. So I feel good about that.
Worst comes to worst, I can just smash through the maze. Go straight to the end.
Yeah, that's solid. All right, power button.
It's on the bottom, I think.
Cross your fingers. And 3, 2, 1.
Give it a second. It's gotta there you go. Awesome.
Dude, it's not even shaking.
That's perfect, man. We don't have to add any weight. Press it down, make sure they can recover. It's awesome.
I just stabilize it, man.
The gimbal mount for the camera adds weight and requires more power to operate, but it will help to balance out any moves that the drone has and give Jason as steady of a view as possible.
Yeah, I think the task is going to be maybe tough to complete depending on how our testing goes, which we'll know a little bit later on. If everything goes well, I think we're going to knock this thing out of the park.
All right, we got some motors.
Motors. Our receiver, we got the switcher. Sweet. It's gonna help us switch. 3 antennas. Okay, last part. What do we have? Where's the frame? Get the frame.
All right.
Yes!
Look at that, baby.
Beautiful frame. This guy's gonna fly amazing.
Although the scrapwood design has saved money, it has also added a lot of weight.
The weight of the chair is, the weight of the wood is a lot more than we expected. That's the main worry. We're worried about the battery that we've chosen because it's pretty large, because we're looking for a decent amount of flight time. So it's gonna be a complication.
In addition to drilling the holes in the frame to shave weight, they also added 4 more propellers and motors to the bottom of the drone to double the lifting power.
When we walk through the world, because we build everything ourselves, we generally look at everything in terms of flight. So everything we see, we try to make fly.
What's quite nice about this frame is it's built into the frame, so you can see the circuit, essentially, which means instead of having messy wires, what I can do is I can chop these down and wire them directly in. I don't think the time constraints are an issue at all. The reason being is I'm very used to building multi-rotors with an inordinately small amount of time. I've often had to build something in less than 2 days. I've even had to build something in 1 day.
Fortunately for Team Beards, Jared is used to building on a time crunch.
What I'm going to do is get a servo, and you can have that in your hand.
And that's how you'll be telling me the solution to the maze.
What I can do is flip a switch from left, middle, right to tell you to turn left or right.
As computer scientists, Jared and Eve further utilize technology to their advantage by creating a servo that Jared can control and convey directions to Eve with.
¿Y qué más agarramos?
Tenemos,
o sea, aparte de esto, ¿qué más tenemos?
bueno, la cámara, que en este reto es bastante importante, porque todo va a ser a través del FPV.
Para que tú puedas, para que tú vayas siguiendo, correcto.
Entonces, elegimos la cámara, elegimos un sistema de pan and tilt, por si necesitamos hacer movimientos con la cámara, también sería importante tenerlo.
Jose and Luciano realize that a fixed mount camera will require them to move the drone every time they need a different view.
O sea, con esto la cámara va así, y la giramos.
Exactamente, tenemos el paneo y tenemos el tildeo.
Para poder mover la cámara hacia donde tengamos que mover.
Sí, sin que tengas que mover el dron, podemos mover la cámara para buscar mejores ángulos.
But by adding a pivoting camera to their drone, they will be able to move the field of view without having to move the drone.
Okay, so we've got frame, we've got arm.
First, I want to see if the motor matches up really nice with those mounts.
Sure. Transmitter, video, where's camera?
Camera's here.
Orange?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nathan and Romeo are able to quickly assemble their drone because they find ways of assisting one another. The teamwork aspect of this competition is very important and must be utilized in order for the teams to advance. Unfortunately, not all teams have mastered quick builds.
The hardest part about building a drone would be watching Sam build it.
Did you try these ones?
Yeah, they were too big.
Or these ones?
Those were way too big. Like, this fits.
Not those tiny ones?
No, this fits, but it's not tiny.
Just push it, get it in there.
I'm trying.
The time Sam takes to help Jacob in assembling their drone is putting them behind the other teams, and they risk not finishing before the competition.
Got wind on your belt?
I'm trying, man.
Still to come, the teams start testing their drones to make sure they can compete. Will Pyrodrone's flying chair design even be able to get off the ground?
I don't even know where I am, Bob.
Is it possible to navigate through a giant maze by using the viewpoint of a drone 100 feet in the air? Which teams get lost in the maze, and which ones conquer it? Team Chaos is the first to finish their build and do some last-minute testing of their gimbal system.
All right, let's get the gimbal on, power it up, make sure the gimbal's in the right position. We'll check the camera real quick.
If it works as they intend, they will have an easier time seeing the maze, which should give them an added advantage of running through in the fastest time.
This is fine. This is sun right here? Yeah.
Wow, big difference. Awesome. This good?
Yeah.
Want to bring it down?
Yeah. I think that's a good test right there.
Power?
Yeah.
Check.
Come on.
Radio? Check. Balls flashing? Check.
After Team Beards finishes building their drone, they attempt the test flight.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, the net works.
But clearly aren't used to the way this drone flies.
Are you confident with this thing flying tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
It'll definitely fly. We don't know for how long, though.
Jared will have to make sure he is able to stabilize this drone in order for Eve to have a chance of getting through the maze.
Let's do this, right? Yeah.
Nice and smooth.
Team Copterworks Mini Quad Racer takes flight.
Check the camera, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Wow, so you guys really built a racer.
It's a racer.
Yeah.
This is our little spicy boy.
And you guys gonna do this maze tomorrow with this racer?
Yeah, it's stable enough.
And since there are no advanced flight controls, there will need to be more piloting control to keep the drone in one place. Unlike Team Copterworks, Team Dialexa has used an advanced flight controller. And in combination with a larger drone, shows the added stability in flight.
Dialexa, robots. Finish.
Sorry,
third.
I don't know that.
So good. All right, I haven't seen this GPS on any of the other ones yet. What's going on with that? Why'd you decide to put that in there?
So that's pretty standard for the DJI series of flight controllers. The reason the GPS is on a mast is to kind of pull it away from the electronic speed controllers. Those generate a lot of noise.
No responde.
¿Qué fue?
No responde.
¿Cómo? Págalo, güey.
No responde, se fue.
¿Cómo que no responde? ¿Cuál no responde?
Se va.
¿Hacia dónde?
Team Ickalicton's drone has immediate problems receiving proper signal.
Okay. Batería.
We have problems with the battery. The power is not. And yeah, just.
And it seems to be related to insufficient power.
Amigos, ¿qué pasó? El primer fallo de la competencia.
No, tenemos unos problemas con las baterías.
Ah, sí.
Estamos haciendo pruebas con unas baterías más chicas de lo que vamos a utilizar en la competencia. Entonces es parte de la emoción.
Pero con la batería, por eso que no estaba muy estable.
Eso necesitamos una calibración y una pieza que nos falta instalar.
But with a battery replacement, they are confident it will be ready to fly for the challenge.
It attracted the bee. It's just like a mini quad. It's so powerful.
Does it fly good?
Yeah, dude, it's so powerful.
After Team Pyrodrone added 4 more propellers, their flying chair design has become quite powerful. By using 8 motors in the X configuration, they will have the power of an octocopter with the maneuverability of a quadcopter.
You guys took a chair and broke it up and made it into a drone.
Yeah.
That flies.
Good.
Speed. You killed it. Why are there 2 motors down there? I haven't seen that yet.
2 motors.
Yeah, on the top and the bottom.
It's got 8 motors total.
2 on each.
We wanted more power.
More power.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Is it all right? It works, man.
Fortunately, California Dronin is able to finish on time, and they have a drone that flies as they had hoped.
You guys were the last ones to do a test flight. Are you nervous that you're not going to make it?
We were a little nervous. We were right there on the edge. Having a little issues towards the end, but we got it in.
I'll take it though. I have confidence in my partner. He had an amazing build, so I knew it was going to fly. It was just a matter of how well.
I gotta say, I was a little worried myself, but now when I seen this fly, it was so stable, so smooth. It sounded clean.
It's because it is.
So Team Chaos finished first, but everyone seems to be having a working drone, and it looks like everybody is gonna race tomorrow.
That's right. I can't believe these guys made the cut with such a short amount of time. I'm pretty impressed. I was really doubtful. These guys actually made the flying chair work. I can't wait to see that flying at the Donkey Ranch tomorrow.
Next, the teams take to the skies in order to overcome the maze challenge. Which of them jump to an early lead in points, and which of them crash? Drone builders and pilots have designed custom drones that will allow them to see a maze from the sky. The first challenge in the Drone Wars competition starts now.
challenge day. As you can see, the maze behind us is finally finished.
And just to recap what you're doing today, the pilot is going to be hovering a drone over the maze, and he's going to send a real-time video feed to your runner. Your runner is going to be wearing video goggles, and he can only see what you're going to give him. So, getting your pilot and runner to work together to get the runner through the maze at the fastest time possible is going to win this challenge for you.
You guys are going in the reverse order that you finished. So, California Dronin, you finished last, which means you are going first. All right, California Dronin, it's all come down to this. Tell me a little bit about your final product.
We ended up switching to a vector flight controller in the end because we were having some issues with our initial one. This kind of set us back on time a little bit, which is why we're going first today.
All right, well, that might work in your advantage. Tell me a little bit about, has your strategy changed now that you've seen the maze a little more?
Now that we've seen it a little bit, I'm hoping to kind of run, walk, maybe speed walk it. Yeah, we don't really know. It's kind of, once you get in there, we'll figure it out. But we'll see.
All right, cool. Well, you guys are the first ones to go. Let's get you over to the starting line, and you can start your drone.
All right.
Sam, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Jacob, you start in 3, 2, 1, go!
After Sam takes off, he notices the wind conditions affect his ability to keep the drone centered over the maze. Along with the disorienting nature of looking through the goggles, Jacob takes a few bumps into the maze walls.
Can you see what's going on here?
Yeah, it looks like...
Oh, wow, that looks pretty complicated, actually.
We need to go back.
Sam tries to keep good positioning of the drone, but it doesn't keep Jacob from taking some wrong turns and getting lost.
Now he's got it. You're directing him pretty well. I mean, I can see How's he doing?
Doing good. I think he's got it.
I think he's got it too. Now he's moving faster. Now you have this long. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's running. Is he getting it? All right. 6 minutes, 30 seconds. I hear him.
But with the glimpse that Jacob gets of his position, along with feeling his way through, he finally finds the solution and comes out the other side.
All right, 7 minutes, 36 seconds. I was a little scared for you guys. I'm not sure how the other teams are going to do. How do you feel?
When you're in there looking at yourself, it's really hard to tell which direction you're going, so...
What happened in the beginning? There was like a little...
I went the wrong way, I guess, so like, I thought I saw an opening, didn't really find it, and had to go all the way back, go the opposite direction, and work from there. It's pretty difficult.
Well, awesome, guys. Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's see what happens next.
All righty.
All right, Copter Works Team 2. Tell me a little bit about this design.
This is our little spicy boy.
Little spicy boy. That one's very tiny.
FPV racer. Tiny little battery. It's got about 5 minutes in the air before it falls out.
You better move quick. Are you worried about that?
Nah, this guy's super fast.
All right, and what's your strategy? I see you have something a little special over here.
Strategy, yeah.
Very clever. I haven't seen anyone do that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna be at the starting line. When I say go, you lift the drone and you get it done.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay? All right, Marco, start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Little Spicy Boy takes flight, and the wind conditions toss him around, making it difficult for Marco to see where he's going.
The wind is killing.
The wind is killing Little Spicy Boy.
The maneuverability of the small racer doesn't help in this challenge, and Marco also has to use the touch and feel approach in order to move through the maze.
Do you see him right now? Is he struggling?
Yeah.
Is he moving through? Because I can't see anything. Oh, he's doing good? Okay.
There you go. There you go.
know you did that.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh, I have no idea how you
That
guys
was no
did
thanks
that
to me.
either.
Holy
I didn't think little spicy boy was gonna make it. At first, you were just flinging, the wind was flinging him, but you guys got it in 3 minutes, 30 seconds. I think you had a lot to do with it because you were just pushing through really quickly. You were all over the place. I was struggling. All right, Team Beards, third up. Jared, tell me a little bit about this drone.
So what we have here is a hexacopter.
A hexacopter.
Which means it's got 6 motors,
I got
6
that.
arms.
What about you, Eves? I see you have a little bit of your own strategy going on here. What's this?
Yeah, well, this is just a highly visible bag at the end of a stick.
You are very clever, even more clever than the last thing I saw. I like it. You guys are getting more and more creative. And this?
This, do we have it running?
Yes, so that little gadget is on the switch on the radio, and as you see, when I move the switch, it changes. And what I can do with that is tell Eve to go left or right.
Oh,
or
wow.
straight.
You guys got a lot of extras, a lot of bonus things over here.
Hopefully we won't need them.
Okay, so Eves, you're gonna start over there at the start mark, and when I say go, you start your drone and you start running. Okay. Eve, you start in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, looking good, pretty stable.
The advantages of the hexacopter are immediately realized, and Jared creates a stabilized view of the maze that Eve can see.
I don't know where Eve is. Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's
on the right. It's on the right.
All right, well.
That's a dead end.
Up. Oh, he's going through. It's quite hard to see because the shadow looks like an opening. It's more complicated than you thought, huh?
I don't know that he's listening to my control.
Unfortunately, Jared's directions sent through the servo don't help Eve out, and he still gets lost.
Damn it. He's in the dead end.
I see that.
No, not that way.
He's going on his own, right?
But Eve uses his walking stick to help pave the way through the maze and finally makes it out.
I see the bag came off.
I couldn't see crap.
It's like a thing. You're seeing. Okay, Team Beards, 4 minutes, 2 seconds. A lot of things came up for you guys. What happened?
Well, at first I couldn't see myself whatsoever.
Couldn't see yourself at all, and you weren't really giving him a very good view. How much did his view end up helping you? Did you just kind of go through it on your own after that?
Well, by the end, it was quite helpful. And this thing helped me take corners like a pro, so I'm happy I had it.
How confident do you guys feel? What do you think? How do you guys think you did?
I think we did quite badly.
Well,
Really?
I think we're mid-range, because half the people will go right and have the same problem I did. The other half will go left and have a pretty easy
Okay, so the mathematics of the game, they're in the middle. A ver, equipo Icalictán, ayer tuvisteis unos problemitas. Dime un poquito, esto me parece un grillo, ¿es el grillito?
Es el grillo mexicano. Sí. Ya está listo para volar aquí para la.
Y dime un poquito de tu estrategia.
La estrategia que vamos a usar es tratar de mantener siempre el frente, no perder el sentido de la orientación para que sea más fácil salir del laberinto.
3, 2, 1, ¡vamos!
With the battery problems resolved, Luciano was able to take flight and stay hovering above the maze. It takes Jose a moment to orient himself, but once he does, he sees the solution from above and moves quickly through.
Ya lo descifró. Rápido están los mexicanos. Ok, estamos a 1 minuto 16 segundos.
Vamos Luciano. Lo tenemos.
¡Derecho!
No oigo hacer nada.
¡No, derecho!
2 minutos 30.
Viene. Bien, estamos bien. Voló muy bien el dron y excelente.
Ayer tuve mucho miedo por México, pensaba que no podía hacerlo hoy, pero hiciste muy bien, estaba muy estable. Era más difícil de lo que te lo pensabas, ¿no?
Poco.
When we come back, teams Pyrodrone, Dialexa, and Chaos all try to beat the fastest times. Which of these teams solve the maze, and which of these teams crash? Four of the 7 teams have already successfully navigated their way through a maze by only seeing themselves from a drone's point of view. Now, the last 3 teams put their custom drone designs into action to see if they can compete.
All right, Team Dialexa Robots. This is looking pretty sexy. Tell me a little bit about your design.
So we've got a standard quadcopter with heavy lift motors, 4S battery, tons and tons of power, good stability. We know what we're doing. We're ready to win.
Now that you've seen the maze and you've seen everyone else's props, any new strategies?
I don't think what we're doing has changed. Mainly if I get a stable view, I'm hoping I can solve it pretty quick and run.
You guys feel confident?
Definitely.
All right, Nathan, start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Dialexa's last-minute addition of a blue umbrella helps Nathan to easily spot himself.
He's got it. Come on, buddy. You got it.
All right, he's moving. Not sure that's the right direction.
Their drone keeps position thanks to their computer-aided flight controller, as well as Romeo's piloting.
Is it harder than you expected?
Not at all.
Not at all. You feel confident. Okay. 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
See himself from above, Nathan finds the maze solution and makes it through in record-breaking time.
You go, buddy. Hoo-up.
Woo!
All right, let's land this baby. Come on, lady.
All right, Team Blue, you crushed it. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. How do you guys feel?
Awesome. I want to do it again.
Dude, you did amazing. That was awesome. That was way, way faster than I expected.
I have to say you guys are the most emotionally stable team that I've worked with so far. Super confident the whole time I was asking you things. You're like, he's doing good, he's doing good. You didn't really come out shaken up. What was it like for you in there?
At first I was a little disoriented with the umbrella above me. As soon as I got out in front like I should have, and then it was a real nice guide. I knew it wasn't going to
Well, the umbrella didn't really make it,
No,
but
it didn't.
you made it through. All right, Team Pyro Drone. Tell me what's going on here. The flying chair. I'm really excited to see what's up with this.
So we took a piece of a chair, made it fly. It's got 8 motors on it. We had to do that because the wood was much heavier than we expected, much sturdier than we expected. We basically just used the same components that we're used to using, and yeah, that's about it.
Are you worried about flight time because of the weight, or you feel confident in
I
that?
think it'll give us maybe 10 minutes of flight with the battery that we're using.
And you're all about speed. Is that part of the strategy?
Yeah, I just want to go fast through the maze and hopefully
You always
navigate.
want to go fast. All right, Ricky. 3, 2, 1, go!
The flying chair has no problems taking off, but with its smaller size, simplified flight controller, and forces from the wind, Bob cannot position the drone to help Ricky out.
Come on, Bob, I can't see where I am.
The wind pushing you, or are you doing that?
Wind is destroying me.
The wind is destroying you.
I can't even keep it like relatively straight.
God, Bobby. This is scary.
Ricky moves through the maze blindly as Bob continues to fight the wind.
You can't see him? I mean, it's tough to see. You're pretty high up.
Keeping the drone in one place is not how these drone racers are used to flying.
even know where I am, Bob.
But after several wrong choices in the maze, Ricky finally makes the right one and comes out on the other side.
All right, Pyrodrone, the magical chair did not fly that magically. Perhaps if we had just thrown a chair with a GoPro on it, we could have given him some more stability. That was the roughest, most erratic flight so far. What the hell happened?
Well, I have never flown with the camera pointing down, ever. So I had no idea what to expect.
I mean, that was just...
On top of that, the wind is just crazy. The wind is gusty. It's blowing it all over the place. And my fears originally of not having a gimbal to stabilize the camera came true. It was true. But we had a lot of fun doing it.
All right, Team Chaos, you were the first ones to finish, last ones to run through. It seems you guys had a specific strategy for building your drone. So tell me what's going on.
Well, the main thing we did is we adapted a handheld gimbal to a camera. So hopefully you'd have a nice steady view.
All right, we'll see how that pans out. And you, what about your strategy, Jason? How do you feel?
So if that works out, I plan to have a high contrast, very high-tech t-shirt
Very smart.
on the end of my arm so I can get directional position from the view.
Okay.
And we also have a high-powered LED flashlight on strobe. So with those two things, in theory, I should be able to really fly through this thing.
All right, Jason, start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Team Chaos's last-minute switch to a more powerful battery to combat the wind sacrifices flight time, so Jason must move quickly.
There we go, there we go, there we go. Right there, John. Stay. Come on, I can't see it.
Very hard to see him.
You don't see him at all?
I do not.
But even with the dual cameras, Jason still has difficulty finding himself.
Now I have to figure out where the heck I am. This is not working out.
He definitely can see himself moving. He's going down now. So he's getting the flashlight. Yep, both are working now.
They are able to get the drone in a good position for Jason to see.
Oh no, I'm losing battery power.
But their last-minute trade-off of power for flight time sends their drone crashing.
Oh boy, that's a crash.
Yep, I'm down.
4 minutes, 44 seconds. Lost battery.
That stinks.
Big bummer, Jason. 4 minutes, 44 seconds. Battery died. You guys crashed and burned. How do you feel?
That is not the way I wanted to start out this competition. I had no clue where I was in the maze. We were either so high or off, just position, spinning around. It just totally disoriented me where I was going. I was fumbling around, just feeling for anything I could.
You just couldn't make it happen.
I was willing him to get it right where I needed it to be.
He was struggling.
It just didn't happen
He
for
was
us.
struggling, but in the end, what happened was the battery died and you guys just couldn't pull through.
Is that why I went down? I saw it coming down and I said, don't hit me.
That's what I was thinking too.
Some wind speeds today. We had the maze falling down on you guys. We had drones crashing in the middle of the maze. It looked pretty tough out there.
All right, so for all of you that finished the maze, you get 2 points except for Team Chaos, which is the only team that got 0.
Coming in third place, we got Team Copterworks with 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
With 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
And the winning team by only 2 seconds, Team Dialexa.
Amazing job, guys, but go home, get some rest, because the next challenge starts tomorrow.
So after competing in the first challenge of Drone Wars, Team Dialexa pulls out to an early lead with 10 points. But with 12 challenges still ahead,
behind us, the teams still don't know what lies ahead, but they do know what they're up against.
Absolutely. It's anybody's game at this point. It just goes to show it's not about how much time you spend at the bench. It's not about your tech. It's about teamwork.
So now I'm super excited to see about the next challenge and how they're all going to do.
As am I, Vanessa.
Next time on Drone Wars, the teams enter their next challenge and build new drones to go fast. Speed, piloting, and precision flying is tested with head-to-head races at an abandoned military base.